Today's Kansas City Chiefs report is presented by Magic Spoon. If you want healthy cereal that also tastes delicious, look no further than Magic Spoon. Go to our link below. It's magicspoon.com/Chiefs. You can get $5 off at checkout. That link will be in the comments. It'll also be in the description. Okay, let's jump into today's Chiefs news and rumors. Tyrann Mathieu has come to the defense of his defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, of course. Chiefs fans, Chiefs Kingdom have been pretty unhappy with Spags, considering how much the defense has struggled through the first couple of games of the season. Mathieu came to his defense on Twitter. We'll show you that in just a moment. And look, I understand some of the public frustration as Kansas City is dead last in total defense through 2 games. Now, it's 2 games, small sample size. We've seen a much larger sample size of Spagnuolo turning this defense from arguably the worst in 2018 to top half of the league the past couple of years, but it has been a bad start at least through 2 games this year. Lance the Spoken, who I think writes for some blog or something, tweeted this out, and this is what got Mathieu going. He was talking about Steve Spagnuolo here, saying you get bullied for 3.5 quarters and allow 29 points in the home opener, and then you get, what does that say there? Here, you get bad, most valuable defender Tyrann Mathieu and Frank Clark corpse back in week 2 versus a Baltimore Ravens roster and get bullied for all 4 quarters, allowing 36 points, basically trying to lay a body for Steve Spagnuolo. And then Tyrann Mathieu responds and says this: "Don't do that to the man. He can't take the field, and his shit works. Hold me accountable. I can handle it. That's a good man, and that's a damn good coach." So Tyrann Mathieu coming to the defense of his defensive coordinator. And quite frankly, this should surprise nobody because this is exactly who Honey Badger is. He's a leader. He is a culture guy. He says all the right things. He does all the right things. He's going to keep this unit together, and I fully expect this defense will bounce back under his leadership. I think Steve Spagnuolo is a good coach. I think he'll make adjustments. I think he's earned the benefit of the doubt over the past couple of years with his body of work with this defense. Does it need to improve? Absolutely. Do I think it will? Yeah, I do think it will play better as the season progresses. Hey, give the Honey Badger some love. He's loving on his defensive coordinator. Like this video. Hit that thumbs up icon if you love what the Honey Badger is doing here by sticking by his guy in Spags. Hit that thumbs up icon if you're a big fan of the Honey Badger. Also, this is just another reason why you should extend and keep Tyrann Mathieu long term, because we know what he brings on the field. He had 2 interceptions, including a pick 6 in his first game coming off COVID. We know how good of a player he is, but he is the glue to this defense, not just with his play, but with his leadership, with his attitude, with the energy he brings to that side of the ball for Spags and this defense. In 1 game this year, he has 6 tackles, 2 interceptions, 3 pass breakups, and a touchdown. That is a ridiculous game. For a team that got shredded defensively, Tyrann Mathieu had an absolutely fantastic performance against the Baltimore Ravens. If you average that out over a full season, he'd have historic numbers. Now, obviously, he's not going to have 2 picks every single game, but we know how capable he is as a player in the NFL, as a safety. He's only 29. Just keep him. Just sign him. Figure out the cap implications after this season. You can cut or trade Frank Clark. There are options, but to me, not re-signing Tyrann Mathieu is not an option. So I would get that done sooner rather than later. And if he gets signed to a long-term contract, we will cover it here on the Chiefs Report, because that's what we do. We cover the latest Chiefs news, rumors, breaking news situations. We do weekly mailbags as well, plus a lot more videos throughout the NFL season. So subscribe, hit that big red button, and we'll have you guys covered throughout the NFL season. Patrick Mahomes, is he ready for Week 3? He seems to be, as they're trying to move on from that Ravens loss. He says it's time to turn the page. Chargers come to town in a big AFC West matchup. And, yeah, it's a very big matchup if you ask me, because a pair of 1-1 AFC West teams with the Chiefs and the Chargers, and the other 2 teams in the AFC West are 2-0. Yeah, this is a big matchup for Kansas City. I don't think there's any doubt about that. You need to take care of business at home against LA. I fully believe they will, led by Patrick Mahomes. He says, quote, "Everyone's ready to go. We lost to a really good football team, but it's a long season. We have an AFC West opponent coming to town, so we have to turn the page." And this is what good teams do, right? You don't dwell on losses. You think about it the rest of that night, and then when you wake up Monday morning, you flush it, and you get ready for the next game. I mean, this is not the first game the Chiefs will lose. This is not or have lost. It's not the last game they'll lose. They'll bounce back. They always do. This team does not lose twice in a row. I fully expect their best performance of the season against the Chargers. The offense has been great so far. I think the defense will play better, and I think they'll take care of business. Predict the score of this matchup, Chiefs and Chargers, this Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Get your score predictions in and let us know who you got winning between Kansas City and Los Angeles. Shout out to today's sponsor. That, of course, is Magic Spoon, and you can get $5 off your first order at magicspoon.com/Chiefs. 13 grams of protein, 4 grams of net carbs, and 0 grams of sugar. Guys, this cereal is fantastic. It tastes delicious, and it's actually very, very good for you at the end of the day. Get $5 off at magicspoon.com/Chiefs. High in protein, low in carbs, sweet and delicious. Tons of different flavors, including the cocoa. That is a personal favorite of mine. We'll have that link down in the comments. We'll have it in the description as well. It's magicspoon.com/Chiefs, and we'll get you guys hooked up with $5 off at checkout. Let's talk some injuries now. Willie Gay Jr., is he going to return soon? He obviously cannot return this week because he was placed on IR before the season, so earliest he could return is week 4. Andy Reid did say today that, quote, he is getting there. He is progressing. He's coming along nicely. So that gives me optimism that he could return from that toe injury by week 4. And let's be honest, I think he would provide a lift. Finished last year strong. He was looking solid in training camp and in the preseason. And the Chiefs need better linebacker play than what they've gotten up to this point. Ben Neiman is not a starter. Nick Bolton has done some good things, but he's still a rookie. I think Willie Gay Jr. would come in and help tremendously, especially against the run. If you hate injuries, spam H in the comments. No one likes them. Luckily, the Chiefs, for the most part, are actually very, very healthy, but Willie Gay Jr. is a player they would like to get back. So if you can't stand injuries, if you hate them, go ahead and type that H down in the comments. Some minor stuff going on with a few guys here, but all at least were expected to practice in one shape or another. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been dealing with an illness, but he's expected to be out there at practice. Blake Bell dealing with an issue as well. Chris Jones, Derek Nottie, and Anthony Hitchens. Hitchens had a little quick surgery to remove some fatty tissue, as Andy Reid would call it. Not really sure what that means, but he's expected to be just fine. But all these guys are expected to play this upcoming Sunday. All right, fun story to end today's show. Byron Pringle landing a sponsor deal, and quite frankly, I'm surprised it took this long. Guess who he's partnered up with? Pringles chips. It makes sense. He's going to have his own flavor stack. That's pretty cool for Byron Pringle, a kid who grew up in the Midwest, went to Kansas State. His flavor is going to be called the, quote, Byron Pringle Kansas City Barbecue Stack. So you locals living in Kansas City, be on the lookout for that. We'll see if it ends up in some grocery stores or if you have to order it online. But pretty cool that Byron Pringle is partnering up with Pringles. I mean, come on, this should have happened a long time ago, right? It's been a long time coming. I said this 2 years ago. I was like, why has Byron Pringle not partnered up with Pringles yet? Well, it's finally happened, as the chip company has partnered up with the Chiefs wide receiver. So that's a pretty cool story for the Chiefs wide receiver. By the way, he played very well the other night. I think he needs to continue to get more snaps for this Kansas City Chiefs offense. He turned on the afterburners on that touchdown catch on Sunday Night Football. So hopefully he gets more involved and he can celebrate with some chips after that game. So pretty cool story for him. Before we sign off, make sure you guys subscribe, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. We'll keep you guys up to date with the latest Chiefs news and rumors all season long. And until next time, we will see you here on the Chiefs Report.